Nangadef. I am Carol. That I just learned how to say hello in Wolof. I'm leaving tomorrow for a 26-day trip to Africa, going up the west coast and a Norwegian cruise, and then it winds up in Barcelona on the other end of things. So it's going to be 8 countries altogether. I'm going to be practicing my languages each night before I arrive, or for a couple of days before, so I know how to say hello and thank you and goodbye and please and all the nice things. So I'm very excited about this trip, and it's going to be going to places that I've never been before, and so I've been checking Google to see what the weather forecast is like, and I think I've got it pretty much all sewed up as far as my packing goes. So I'm going to be on board a Norwegian ship for 21 days, and then I've got some extra time before and after the trip in Cape Town and in Barcelona. So what I'm going to bring, what I'm wearing, I've got my blue pants that are just comfortable and stretchy and everything for the plane. And I've got a linen shirt on under this, and I've got a white sweater is basically all I'm bringing in terms of, I'm not bringing jackets. I do have a rain jacket this time because Google tells me that it's going to be raining for the whole week when we are around the Canary Islands and Sénégal and places. So I'm going to be prepared with a rain jacket with a hood this time that packs into a little package inside my bag. So I have my straw hat that I'm going to bring, a very lightweight one, and my these are my blue Wool X shoes. They are merino wool, so that makes them easy to clean and take care of. I emptied out the contents of my purse so I could just show you what is up. So I've got the passport with the the vaccination cards. This is something I did not know until about 8 days ago. I discovered that I needed to have a yellow fever vaccine for 5 of the countries where we will be stopping, and that without the yellow fever vaccine, I cannot get on board the ship. So I was very glad to find that out, and I was able to get an appointment. The only place basically in Vermont that you can go to get it is up in Burlington, and I was able to squeeze me in for cancellation because you're getting a live vaccine, and I wanted to make sure that it was not 3 days before my trip. So I got it a week ago and had no side effects or anything, but then I got the all-important vaccine card, which is tucked into the passport for safekeeping. Next to that, I've got, this is the other essential. It's the iPhone 16. I love it. I'm glad to have it. It's got my boarding passes. It's got all of my information, my boarding the ship pass, my anything you can name. It's got Google Translate, and where Google Translate might not provide a certain language, it does. With Google, you can access other languages like Wolof, for example. So that is going to be very handy to have. And it just has this little flip down thing that is magnetically bound to my camera or my phone. And that is perfect for a tripod anytime I want to film something where I'd like to be in the picture. Thank you very much. So that is dandy to have that. Turn that off. So that's going in the center of the purse right there. And then I've got this is my little paper and ink journal / calendar. I also have the Google Calendar on this, which is great because my husband, who again will stay home with the dog and the cat, he can track my journey, which country am I in, what are the activities that I'm doing, and so forth. And maybe that might give him a little peace of mind or something, having his wife go off and traveling the world yet again. So I've got that, and this is where I keep, basically, this is almost like my diary. I keep all the information in here, and the addresses for postcards and the, anything you might care to have. And then in this, I've got a combination. I have some euros left over from being in Europe last month. I've got my new global entry card is in here. I've got 2 credit cards that are great for being far away. I've got 1 debit card that refunds me any ATM fees, so that is excellent. And I forgot that when I went to Europe, and that caused me all kinds of headaches. Let's see, what is this? This is my global entry card. And let's see. And then it's got a whole bunch of, got a pile of $5 because if I'm going from country to country to country, I might not have a chance to convert money in each of the 8 countries. So in a pinch, if they can't accept a credit card, I think a $5 bill will take me a fair piece on the west coast of Africa. So that goes in there in the center. And then I have, let's put in a couple pens and pencils and an eraser in here. And for the time being, this is full, but this is what I bring for a bottle of water. It is just a regular small size bottle that easily fits into the purse and doesn't weigh a ton. And you just keep refilling it wherever you go. So that's all I need to have. I'm not going to bring a thermos. I'm not going to bring a giant thing. That's the way I travel. And we'll call this side the beauty side. So this does have, this is a whole bunch of stuff. There's something called Fly Kit, which is supposed to help you to adapt to the time change. And I'm going to be in the airplane, tomorrow I will be in the airplane for 22 hours. So first I fly from Boston to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam down to Cape Town is the reason it's such a long trip. And I thought, I don't usually touch things like electrolytes and so forth, but in this case, a little bit of assistance will be just the right thing. And then I have the only hair tool I need to bring. It's my comb. That goes in there. I save weight on all the other machines that other people bring. This is toothbrush, toothpaste, dental pick, and little teeny thing, hand cream. I have TSA pre-check, so I don't think these microscopic things of toothpaste or hand cream are going to cause me a problem. And then we will put the fan in there just in case there's a hot spell. I'll put that in the beauty side so I can cool down if the airplane is detained any place and the heating and cooling systems don't work. I'll be all set for that. And I'll also put in there thank you very much, my best friend Megan Batty, who always told me never leave home without your travel pack of Kleenex and your cash and your Ziploc baggies. So I bring all of those things along. And on this side, we've got food, and we'll call it tech. This is a little container. It's just the right size for a small amount of food for snacks or whatever as I'm waiting to, and of course, I love chocolate, so it's got some chocolates in it to start off my trip. Daily chocolates, can't be beat, from Virgins, Vermont. And I've got a knife, fork, and spoon rolled up inside a handkerchief. And because I don't like to eat with plastic, I bring these things along. And if I go to a shop and I buy a salad or some soup or yogurt or whatever, I can enjoy that without having to put plastic utensils in my mouth that I can't abide. And then I've got my first 2 batches of vitamins in a side container here, because that way I won't have to worry about fiddling with them in this bag. So that can go in there. And AirPods are awesome. These are AirPods 2 Pro, and they really work wonders, especially on those long plane trips. They are noise canceling, and that's basically all I need. And then in here, I've also got a little rubber tether that keeps them together. So if I fall asleep, one falls under the seat. I don't want to have to go crawling under the seat for anything, so I use the tether, even though, yes, it is another thing to attach them to my person. But so I don't have to lose those. And then I've just got one little small USB-C and with a regular USB thing for if I don't want to get all of my other tech stuff out of here and I just want to give a little quick charge up at the airport, I can do that. And also in my purse, I keep an air tag. These are great. I keep one in the purse, one in the suitcase, and one in my car, so that, you know, after being away for 3.5 weeks, I might need a little help if I need my car. So that is going to be there. And then here's a pick because I'm a musician and you never know who's going to have a guitar. Maybe they don't use a pick. I like to play with a pick. So yeah, I will be able to play along. So that is all of that. Now, this is the Biaggi hard-sided bag. I'm very, very pleased with it. I decided this time that I'm going to have so many sea days and so forth, and it might be a good time to start going through and taking care of the photos from all my recent trips that I have not put into any kind of albums. I have not organized them or deleted the duplicates of things. So I am going to go ahead and bring this, even though it makes my bag, now this bag weighs 24 pounds, which is more than I ever like to travel with. But this has the groovy little Hina Moto, whatever they're called. The wheels are excellent. And if I don't want to be toting around a whole lot of extra stuff, that's great. So, and near the top of the bag, so this bag has a little feature that you can just flip this down. You unzip the top part of it and you can flip that down. So I can take this out for TSA. I can take my power bank out for TSA, and I can take my TSA bag out for TSA. Even though I have pre-check, you know, sometimes they still want to see your stuff. So in the TSA pre-check, in my liquids bag, I've got many of my gel or, you know, liquid-filled capsules. I take a lot of vitamins and supplements, being 67 years old. Yeah, I'm going to want to keep taking those things. It's got a COVID test in here just in case. It's got things like Voltaren for my arthritic feet. It's got a little thing of Lumi deodorant, which is a deodorant that you can apply every 2 or 3 or even 4 days. And it's just in a little bitty pot that I've got that in. I've got some coconut oil for preventing chafing. I've got Vaseline just in case if you ever get a cut. Actually, I've been told by a dermatologist that rather than putting Neosporin on your cut, put a little Vaseline on it. It will seal it up and your cut can heal in much better shape. And the very little bit of makeup that I'm bringing is a mascara, a couple of eye pencils, and a little lip balm that is slightly colored. So I'm not a big makeup person. I'm not going to be performing. I'm not going to worry about a lot of that stuff. It also has ZzzQuil in here in a little baggie, and I cut the labels off things before I put them in the little baggies in case TSA wants to say, what exactly is that? And, oh, those aren't gummies, are they? No, they're not gummies. They're just all perfectly acceptable things to bring along. And I'm not bringing any shampoo with me this time because I'm going to be on board a ship and then I'm going to be in hotels. They will have shampoo, so I don't have to worry about all that stuff. And I don't care, frankly. Oh, it has one important thing, bug spray, because in a lot of these countries, malaria is a serious issue, and I don't want to get malaria, thank you very much. Although I've got another bag in here. Let's see, I'm going to set that aside. My other bag in here, this is my odd ends bag, and this has just, you know, a sewing kit, a little C-clamp, some echinacea tablets. I've got a little bit of laundry needs. I've got a couple of laundry sheets in there and a Tide to Go pen. Got a little face powder that has some sunblock in it. I've got a solid sunblock in here, which as a redhead, I am really going to need to protect myself from the sun in the south and the west of Africa. And what was I going to say else? It'll come to me. But basically, you can use whatever soap you've got in your hotel room or on the ship to wash your clothes. So I'm just bringing along the a couple of detergent sheets, the dried detergent sheets, because I might come across a washing machine that I would like to have one sheet to be able to put in with that. Otherwise, my practice is basically every night I will wash out my socks and underwear, and I will wash out the shirt that might be dirty or whatever else happens to be dirty, and I'll roll it up in a towel, hang it to dry, and I'm in great shape. So this also has a little empty spray bottle in it, and that could be used when your clothing comes out of your bag wrinkly, which it always does. I take it out the night before, spritz it with a little bit of water, smooth it down like this, and then, you know, in the morning, it's not all wrinkly. It's still going to have some wrinkles on it, but as the Arabs say, only God is perfect, so we don't have to worry about having our clothing being perfectly immaculate. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. Oh, this has, so when I went to get my yellow fever vaccine, she also spent, she's the pharmacist at UVM Medical Health Center, spent an hour and 40 minutes with me looking over my itinerary, every country that I was going to, having me read all the things about dengue fever and about, you know, the bacterial things in the water and the blah, 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 you know, all this stuff. So somebody else might be daunted, but I can remember traveling in Morocco when I was 20, and I had a ball, and I did drink some of the water there. I was not stricken with any horrible diseases or anything, but just in case, she gave me some tablets to take preemptively for malaria, and she gave me some the equivalent of Pepto Bismol and some anti-diarrhea meds and stuff in case I get some kind of a stomach thing and it wants to take me to task. So that's my stuff and first aid, and this also has the dried vitamins and supplements that I take, like calcium pills and stuff that don't have to go through your liquids bag. This here, I've got, this is some other odd ends, and I've got it zipped down in this little Eagle Creek compression cube. I don't often bother with the compression features on these things, but I wanted to keep these things close. So I'm going to have less time online when I'm on the ship, because I think the plan that I bought features something like 6 minutes a day. So of Wi-Fi time that I can count on. So in here I have, this is a small painting kit, watercolor paints, watercolor postcards. I can, if I don't find postcards, as was true in China last November, I had a hard time finding postcards because hardly anybody sends postcards anymore. So I can paint some postcards as I go, and I will have these, and I can put that all together. And this is my big thing of daily chocolates, and that would be my treat. That's my indulgence that I'm going to have one a day as I'm on this trip. And then this is, I've got about 8 writing implements here, including a whiteout pen and a highlighter for highlighting the daily bulletin that you get on board the ship, and a magic marker just in case, and a couple pencils and a couple pens. So that's great. And then this is the secret to my, I've lost 45 pounds over the last 6-7 months, and it's because of Zepbound. So I need to bring 2 doses with me. I'm now taking them every 9 days instead of every 7 days. So I just had one yesterday, and I will need a couple more. I've got that written down so I can make sure that I follow through with that. So that these go in here. I'll do the compression a little bit later. Let's see, and we've got, this is also near the top because this has compression socks and earplanes and a face mask. So I will grab that out before I toss this up in the overhead bins, and I will just stuff that in my purse, and that would be great. This is a little walking around purse that I got in Tibet, actually. And right now it just has a couple of scarves in it. That is my fashion accessory, is a couple scarves. But this is the right size for the phone and the passport and the money. You know, I don't need more than that. And if I can get away with it, I'll just use the pockets in my clothing to hold those things. But if I'm wearing a dress, and you know, whatever, it's nice to have just one small pouch, basically, that I can bring in, and it goes across my body, so it'll be right close to my body. And I understand that there is a lot of poverty in a lot of the countries where I'm going to be going, and people have already told me about the cruise ship that they took when they stopped in Cape Town, and 50 people on their ship had their iPhones stolen. So I'm going to try to not have that happen, but I'm going to use reasonable caution rather than paranoia about that. And I've got in this baggie, I've got separately, this is my new swimming suit that I just got for on board the ship, and this time I'm bringing 2 swimming suits. So here is my little underwear bag. It doesn't have a heck of a lot of stuff in it. It's got an extra bra. It's got the second swimming suit. It's got 3 pairs of NYX underwear, which I highly recommend for women of my age and up, because if you ever sneeze or cough and have to run for a bathroom, there might not be a bathroom when you're on a big massive trip like this. So it's very handy to have, so you don't have to change all of your clothes. And just 2 pairs of socks, because I'm going to be wearing some flip-flops some of the time, and I'm going to be wearing my other shoes that don't need, these have orthotics in them, but sometimes I wear them with socks, sometimes without socks, but the orthotics are able to be cleaned up anyway as well. So there's that. And then I've got, this is the one pill box that I brought for my daily vitamins. I take about 10, sometimes 11 supplements every day. And so the other things are in the first 2 bags that I showed you. And I will be refilling this container when 1 week has gone by, 2 weeks have gone by, and then I will be home shortly after that. We've got, this is a little, I took this from my Nomad Lane bento bag. It's a little tech kit, and it's got in it, this is groovy, and it's got the European plug, which I will definitely need in Spain. And then this is a 3-headed cord. It's nice and long. It's got USB-A ending here that plugs in pretty much anywhere you go, any hotel, train station, airport, metro station. They all have places that now you can charge up. And then on this side, it's got 3 ends. 2 are USB-C and 1 is USB regular. The USB regular is for my AirPods, and the other ones are for my my laptop and my iPhone. So I can charge up all 3 at once, and that is great. And oh, I think I'm gonna have to put something in here if I don't see it. This is where I keep the other the air tag that stays with my luggage. And then I've got just a little teeny, 1 little extra cord to plug in. So the power bank that I'm going to present at TSA is going to get tucked back in here. And if I want to make a connection between that power bank and my laptop, for example, I'll be able to do it with one little teeny little cord. So I'll set that aside. And I always just tote around another extra empty plastic water bottle that might be a good amount to be able to go for a couple of hours. I can make do with something that size for a couple hours. And I've got my, let me put this down, thank you very much. Here is my raincoat is in this with the hood and everything, so that's going to be handy to have. And I've got my flip-flops are tucked down in here. I've got a second pair of glasses that, because I lost my glasses on day 2 in China of that 3-week trip, and I was really at a huge loss without them, because otherwise at a distance everything I see is blurry. So here's my second pair of glasses just in case. And this was a gift to me at Christmas time, and it's just an extra bag that if I go wild getting souvenirs or buying fabric in Africa or something, I can take this out, and then I can fit my purse in it. If I am getting back on a plane and I need a personal item, this can then become the personal item, and then I have my bag that goes overhead. And I have only one hiking pole, collapsible. This is groovy. And as I am toting my carcass around, the burning sands or wherever I am, if I'm going up Table Mountain in Cape Town, yeah, I might want to have a little walking stick to help me go. At 67, I've had both hips replaced, both shoulders replaced, my right knee replaced. I'm trying to preserve my left knee, and so that is handy. And then I cushion the ends of it with this little plastic cup that I can use by my bedside for my glass of water at night, or whatever purposes I might have. There's a little cup, and I can get whatever I want to drink in it. And then the only other thing is, this is my bag that has outfits in it. So put this aside. And I've really kept it very minimal. So in addition to the stuff that I'm wearing, which side does it go? Let's see. Nope, no, it's the other side. Oh, here you go. So I've got my nightgown / beach cover-up is there. I've got a pair of white linen pants that I think I understand that when you get on board a Norwegian ship, if you make friends with your cabin steward right off the bat, you can ask them to bring you an iron and a board, and they, you know, I can iron up anything that's linen, for example, that I'd rather have in good shape. I've got 2 dresses that I'm bringing along. This is one that I made many years ago, and recently I'm able to fit into it again. And then this is one made by a company out in Traverse City, Michigan called Yana D. And it's very comfortable, stretchy, fluid cotton dress. I asked them to buy a little bit of extra fabric so I could insert a pocket in here so I could have a pocket as I'm walking around. But it's just a plain, you know, it's got some little sleeves on the top. And then for shirts, I've got another linen shirt. This is a Novica tunic that I just like having some colors with me when I'm traveling. This is a 3/4 length shirt with a little Delft pattern. And this is my only sleeveless one that I've got. But, you know, I really do have to worry about sunburn when I'm on this trip. So I'm not worried about not having 10 t-shirts with me to bring. So this is just a little lightweight something for the hottest of the days when I can bear to have my arms exposed to the sunshine. So that's that's all I've got. So the bag, this bag with my iPhone in it and everything weighs just under 5 pounds. And then this bag over here is 24 pounds, which is, yeah, that's a lot more than I usually bring. But I'm gonna be 3 weeks on the same boat. So, and I know that people there are gonna arrive with their ginormous cases of things. But I prefer to travel as lightly as I can with stuff that I'm still able to tote around and manage in the meantime. This time it will be nice. My last trip I went with a backpack, and I was wishing that I had something with wheels on it, because there were times when you don't want to wrestle into that backpack. You don't want to wrestle with the straps. So, you know, the weight of it was not a problem, but I think it'll be nice having the Biaggi bag. So my friends, I wish you all some wonderful adventures. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this at all. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to encourage me to keep making these videos, and hopefully I will get something posted when I am out on the high seas on the west coast of Africa, but we shall see. I have to find out what my internet connection is going to be. But make sure that you go traveling, and ladies, go solo. You will have such a good time. You will meet so many wonderful people. It just makes the experience all the richer to do it. So go for it. Allez-y. Bonnes aventures. Happy adventuring.